I suffered 3 serious assaults in the City of Melbourne, and in this video, I'm going to tell you all what happened to me. Around 17 years ago, I suffered 3 serious assaults on this block, which is bordered by Swanson Street, Burke Street, Little Burke Street, and Russell Street. The assaults didn't involve broken bones or bleeding, but they were still very serious for other reasons. I can't go through the assaults in chronological order because I have to leave the most shocking incident till the end of the video. I know you guys will understand when we get to the end of the video, so please be patient with me. The first assault I'll tell you all about occurred here in Burke Street. There is a Kmart on this block now, but back then it used to be a Target. And that's where I believe I was going when I was violently assaulted. I was assaulted while carrying my baby in a Baby Bjorn carrier, and I believe this assault happened between November 2007 and March 2008. I was a single mum living with my baby in a flat in Ascot Vale, and I used to get public transport into the city to go shopping. You can see on this map that Melbourne Central Station is on the lower left, and I could have caught the train into the city and got off at Melbourne Central Station, then walked down to Burke Street, or I could have caught the number 57 tram from Flemington and then got off in Elizabeth Street and walked up to Burke Street to go to Target. So, this is what happened. I was walking up Burke Street towards Target when I heard a man yell a fat slur at me, something along the lines of, "You fat pig." Then the same man kicked me very hard in the back, and I fell to the ground on top of my daughter, who was inside the baby carrier. I remember that being kicked in the back hurt, but I didn't say or do anything to the man who kicked me. It was an unprovoked attack, and I don't know why that man assaulted me. When I was able, I got up and I turned around to see the young man looking at me. He had a very nasty look in his eyes and he was full of hatred, but I didn't recognize him. The man had light skin, light hair, a slim build, and was around 5'9". He looked to be between 20 to 25 years old, and he looked really proud of what he had done. But then his face changed. I don't know if he felt guilty, but if he did, that didn't change what he had done to me. I held on to my daughter, and not one person came to help me. It was broad daylight. There were plenty of people around, and not one person stopped to ask if I was okay or if my baby was okay. I walked away, but I don't remember where I went after that. I know people may be wondering why I didn't report what happened to me, but I think it must have been because I was in shock. Also, the fact that I had been violently assaulted and no one bothered to help me would explain why I just wanted to get away. I think I just wanted to feel safe. Obviously, that man needs to face charges. He verbally assaulted me with a fat slur and physically assaulted me by kicking me in the back. And so far, he has gotten away with what he did. I believe this man was with a young woman on the day he assaulted me, so she was a witness, but like all the other people who saw what happened, she did absolutely nothing to help me. I want that man to hand himself into the police and admit what he has done, and I want him to stay away from me and to never contact me or my daughter directly or indirectly. And obviously, I want him to make sure that he never assaults me again. By rights, he should pay me compensation. But if you watch my other videos, you'll see how badly I've been treated by the justice system. So I don't know how I would go about doing that. And the other thing is that because that assault was 17 years ago, he may have his own children now. And I do find it ironic that he was willing to assault a woman, a small woman, like I'm only around 5'2" tall. He was willing to assault a woman carrying a baby. So, I guess that raises questions about what he may or may not do with his own children. The second assault I'll tell you all about was on the same block. And ironically, it was around about the same place. I took this photo to show you guys where it happened, and this is exactly where both incidents occurred. I believe this incident occurred between November 2007 and March 2008. Um, this time, I had my baby in an old navy blue pram that I got from a charity in Moonee Ponds. I didn't use this pram for long before I bought a new one. And because I had a pram, I think I must have come from the train station, because I don't think I'd be, able to get off the tram with the pram. So the fact that I had a pram and that I came from, very likely got off at Melbourne Central Station and then walked down Swanson Street to Burke Street would help in identifying me on CCTV camera footage. So this is what happened in this incident. I was walking down this part of Burke Street, and I remember seeing a man to my right on the footpath. He was around 30 to 35 years old. He had light skin and hair and medium build. I remember him because he was talking on his mobile phone, and even though I didn't know him, he appeared to be talking about me. He was looking at me and he was laughing, and he was telling the person that he was talking to that I was a fruitcake or something along those lines. He said to the person that he was speaking to, "She's walking around with a pram," and he was looking at me when he said that. That's why I thought, he was talking about me. The implication was that I was crazy because I was walking around with a pram, but obviously I don't see how that made me crazy. I don't remember if he ended the phone call, but I remember him walking towards me and kicking my pram so hard that it was knocked to the ground. Once again, no one offered to help me, even though my poor baby had been knocked to the ground in her pram. I remember my arms hurt because the man had kicked my pram so hard, and I remember inhaling very hard. I knelt down and picked up my daughter, but I don't remember where I went after that. I assumed that I went into Target or just turned around and went home. It's very disturbing to know that a man would kick a pram over and just stand there and do nothing. And people need to think about the implications of that man getting away with what he did to me. The last assault I suffered was the most serious and the most disturbing. This assault occurred when I was pregnant, and this is going to be very hard for me to talk about. So, one day in the later part of my pregnancy, I went into Target. And as I said, the store changed over to a Kmart. It's a Kmart now, but back in 2007, it was Target. I believe when I was there was between July 2007 and October 2007. I believe I took the back entrance into Target, which is in Little Bourke Street, and I was in this part of the store when a woman saw me, yelled something about me being a fruitcake, then came charging towards me and punched me in the stomach very hard. This nasty, disgusting woman punched me in the stomach when I was pregnant. And I didn't know her, and I didn't know why she did that to me, but that's not all. Not only did she call me a fruitcake, then punch me in the stomach, she also said that I was too stupid to report her. And I heard her say that to the man that she was with. And that man is a witness to what that woman did to me. I couldn't believe that woman punched me, and I don't remember what I did afterwards, but I know several people witnessed what happened. I was a witness. The woman who assaulted me was a witness. The man that she was with was a witness. And there were other shoppers in Target on that day who would have witnessed that woman punching me. Target have security cameras, so the incident was probably caught on camera, if not witnessed in real time by the security staff at Target. The woman who assaulted me had fair skin and hair, was around 5'7" and around 30 years old at that time. The man that she was with had light skin and very light hair. He looked around 38 years old at the time and was around 6'2" tall. Being punched in the stomach was painful. And I was very confused that a woman had punched me, called me a fruitcake, and called me stupid when she didn't even know me. It seemed very personal, and it has something that has haunted me for the last 17 years. Although all three assaults were around 17 years ago, I believe that someone will be able to find CCTV footage that will prove what I'm saying is true. I know data can be stored on clouds for many years, and I also know that some data is stored indefinitely. Basically, I don't think 17 years is a long time in terms of CCTV storage. Given that there are store cameras, City of Melbourne cameras, and police cameras everywhere in the city, I believe that at least one of these assaults was definitely caught on camera. And I also believe that it is only a matter of time before someone will find the footage. I think the people who assaulted me should know that. And I want all three of those people to spend every day of the rest of their lives wondering when they are going to get a tap on the shoulder from someone who has found the video evidence of what I have described. And that's especially true for the woman who punched me in the stomach when I was pregnant. I gave birth 3 weeks early, and I believe that being punched in the stomach caused that. I was scheduled to give birth mid-November 2007, but my water broke early on the 20th of October 2007, and I was admitted to the Royal Women's Hospital on that day. My daughter was born via emergency cesarean section, and I believe that being punched in the stomach may have caused my water to break and necessitated the emergency cesarean that I had. I said earlier that I didn't report these assaults, but now that I've had the chance to look back at this story, I was wondering if there was a police station nearby. Not because I thought all three people who assaulted me were police officers. I was just curious about whether I would have been able to get help if I did make a report. You can see on this map that there is a police station right near where I was assaulted, but I didn't know if this station was there back in 2007. So I did some research. Apparently, the nearest police station was the Melbourne City Police Station, situated at 222 Exhibition Street, Melbourne. For some reason, my research around that police station couldn't establish if Melbourne City Police Station was open to the public or simply an administrative building used by the police. Interestingly, WorkSafe Victoria also rented space at this address. It is ironic to consider that I had been violently assaulted 3 times near a building that leased office space to the state's health and safety regulator.